An interesting team that has caught my eye involves Zoroark Hisui form with the illusion ability that has some pretty interesting applications. However, it's really hard to utilize because of the fact that most of the restricteds do use their abilities, which would give the illusion away. However, I saw this team that featured telepathy Dialga and thought it would be the perfect partner for the illusion Hisui Zoroark to showcase what it can do. This is a fascinating team that features the Calyx Ice Rider and Dialga Origin Form duo with Pokemon like the Illusion Zoroark and the Blaze Incineroar. Let's break it down. First Pokemon we have is the Hisuian Zoroark with the Focus Sash, which does allow it to survive one hit with the Illusion ability, which disguises Zoroark as the last Pokemon chosen to be brought into battle, with the normal Terra type with Hyper Voice, Bitter Malice, Burning Jealousy, and Protect. So Hisuian Zoroark has a really cool typing, Normal and Ghost, that is able to be immune to some of the best moves in the game, especially coverage like the Ghost coverage from Astral Barrage and Moongeist Beam. Ignores any fighting type attacks like the close combat and body presses, ignores fake out, which is incredible. It is a mon that just has so many good immunities that it is solid. Illusion is kind of a weird ability where it is able to transform into the last Pokemon chosen, but unfortunately it doesn't copy like the ability. So like for instance, if you have the last Pokemon's Calyx Ice Rider, as one won't go off, so it's pretty obvious that it is Zoroark in disguise. And since a lot of Pokemon in the format use their ability, it's really hard to disguise Zoroark as a Pokemon, so it makes it a bit weaker in its ability, not really accomplishing too much. However, one restricted that is able to use its ability pretty well that doesn't display it on the field, Dialga, because with the telepathy to ignore the Earthquake from your Ursaluna, you can actually disguise Zoroark as the Dialga, which is why it actually is a good pairing here. And you are able to utilize the Zoroark to disguise as the Dialga, which is weak to fighting type attacks, so they might go for a body press or a close combat into your Dialga, which you could have the Zoroark disguised as, and you'll be able to take those attacks and threaten it. So Hyper Voice is able to do quite a bit of damage across the board. Bitter Malice, a ghost type move, a little bit weak, however does guarantee that you lower the attack stat of your opponent, and it's good to hit in Shadow Rider, of course. Burning Jealousy, this is a move that is quite interesting because if the user has gotten a stat boost within the turn, it will get burned if hit by this Burning Jealousy. So it's actually pretty neat because if you go for Burning Jealousy on, like, let's say a Zamazenta lead, it will actually burn the Zamazenta, or if the Zamazenta switches in and you go for Burning Jealousy, it can also affect it. So Burning Jealousy can be basically used for the Zamazenta especially, which is the main reason, as well as Zacian. But that is what it allows the Zoroark to do, because Zamazenta is a pretty big threat to the Calyx Ice Rider Dialga combination, especially when you have multiple fighting weeks. And then the EV spread is pretty simple since it's Focus Sash, just max special attack, max speed, timid nature with 4 attack. You really want to just dish out quite a bit of damage and, you know, be fast, because if you are able to outspeed a Zamazenta and Burn Jealousy, it can really help out immensely. Next Pokemon we have is the Adamant Crystal Dialga Origin, which gives it the Origin form, which gives it a plus 20 base stat to its base special defense, and it is able to have the telepathy ability, which means it does ignore any of its allies' attacks, which means you can go for Earthquake with Ursaluna and the Dialga will be immune to it, with the Ground Terra type, which is able to help out against like Miraidon, so it can Volt Switch safely, but more importantly, powering up its Earth Power for Terra Ground Earth Power to threaten Zamazenta with Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, and Trick Room. It's a very interesting Dialga set, no protect, but really just focusing on dishing out a bunch of damage. Draco Meteor with the Flash Cannon is able to do a lot with the same type attack bonus, and also boosted by the Adamant Crystal, which does power up Dialga's Dragon and its Steel type moves. Earth Power is able to do a lot with the Terra Ground, is able to hit Pokemon like Incineroar, Zamazenta, just Pokemon that Cali Ice, Dialga, and Incineroar all don't enjoy. So having that extra coverage can be beautiful. And then the Trick Room to set up the Trick Room, because this team does rely on sweeping under Trick Room, especially with that Ursaluna. The EV spread is just max HP, near max special attack. It gives it a jump point basically, and then a little bit extra into special defense because you never know. But across the board, Dialga is just able to do a ton of damage. Really a strong Pokemon because it's able to tank attacks really well with its great natural defenses and HP, and dish out a lot of damage, but more importantly, just has good resistances across the board thanks to its typing. Next Pokemon we have is the Clear Amulet Calyx Ice Rider, preventing its stats from being dropped with the As One ability with the Terra Dragon type, which is an interesting defensive type, but just able to help out against super effective fire moves, great into water coverage, resist electric, grass coverage as well. Like, it has a good amount of resistances that it does have access to. With Glacial Lands, High Horsepower, Trick Room, and Protect, it's a pretty standard Calyx Ice Rider. It's just able to sweep, do a lot of damage under the Trick Room. What can I really say? Clear Amulet Calyx Ice Rider is just able to threaten without having to worry about Incineroar going for Intimidate. Glacial Lands and High Horsepower just build up a lot of damage. Trick Room, of course, to set up the Trick Room, because this is a Trick Room team. Protect to keep itself around. EV Spread's even simple too, just max HP with a 196 attack with 60 in special defense. That is just a pretty common Ice Rider. Has a little bit of special defense, so it can just be able to tank the Astral Barrages a little bit better. But across the board, it is a sweeper. Not really much to say about Calyx Ice Rider, who is just a very big tank, does a lot of damage, and sets up Trick Room. Next Pokemon we have is Wolfe's Incineroar, and I mean Wolfe's Incineroar from the actual game, with Assault Vest as the held item, with Blaze for the ability, with Bug Terra as a great defensive type, especially resisting the body press while being neutral to the Ghost Astral Barrage coverage, with Flare Blitz, Knockoff, Fake Out, U-Turn. Yeah, you might notice something about this Incineroar. I'll give you a sec to figure it out. It is the Blaze ability. Yep, it's not Intimidate, it is the Blaze ability, which you might be thinking, why is it Blaze? And I didn't even notice even after like a few games of testing. I never brought Incineroar, and then well, you'll find out. But yeah, Blaze is a interesting one, and I think the idea of having the Blaze Incineroar, even though I think Intimidate is still way better, is the idea of you can have like the Zoroark disguised as the Dialga, and then you could lead Incineroar, and then they'll think, oh, I can go for the fake out or attack into the disguised Dialga, because that will be the Zoroark, because they think, oh, the Zoroark is disguised as Incineroar because it doesn't have Intimidate. And then they'll get completely messed up, because then they'll try to go for like a fake out or fighting move into Dialga. Then that's the Zoroark disguise, and then Incineroar, hey, it's an Incineroar. It's going to do something, whether it's going to fake out, whether it's going to knock off, U-turn, Flare Blitz. I think that's the idea of this Incineroar. It's a very funny thing that is just going to be paired with the Zoroark. It's a lot weaker of not being able to get the Intimidates off, but it's still a pretty tanky Pokemon in general, thanks to its good natural bulk, especially the Assault Vest. And yeah, we'll see how this Incineroar, if it comes into play, of how well it can do without Intimidate. But max HP, max attack, 4 defense, a very all-offensive Pokemon on this team without the support of Intimidate. And then 29 speed Ivies, because that is what Wolfe's Incineroar did have through the distribution at the North American International Championship, if you got Wolfe's Incineroar. Next Pokemon we have is the Flame Orb Ursaluna, which is able to burn the Ursaluna to power up its Guts ability, which means when it is having a status condition, it will get a 1.5 boost to its physical attack, as well as the Facade, which doubles in power when the user is affected by a status condition. The Ghost Terra type, which is able to make it immune to fake out, as well as fighting type attacks in general, with Headlong Rush, Earthquake, and Protect. Yep, it's a pretty standard Ursaluna. What else can be said about it? It is just able to do a ton of damage, because Guts and Facade, both ignoring the Flame Orb burn, reduce damage, and is just able to power up its attack instead. Just does so much. Its resistances are pretty good, because Ursaluna is immune to both Electric and Ghost, which is very common coverage in the format, and able to do a ton of damage with a base 140 attack, with the Guts increase alongside Facade doubling in power, being a 140 base power normal type attack before including same type attack bonus and more. Like, that's incredible for Ursaluna, with this one taking advantage of going with near max attack 244, and the rest going into HP and special defense, having a bit more in special defense because it already has a high natural base HP and has a bit of a weaker special defense, so it can take on the special attacks a little bit better. And min speed on this Ursaluna, the only downside is Calyx Ice Rider and Ursaluna are both min speed, so there could be some speed ties involved that could be awkward, but otherwise it is for those speed ties like the Iron Hands opposing Ursaluna and opposing Calyx Ice Rider, just going min speed because you would most likely be getting Trick Room up anyway. Final Pokemon on this team is the Wellspring Ogerpon with the Wellspring Mask, Water Absorb for the ability, which makes it immune to water type moves, as well as the fact that it will actually heal when hit by a water type attack, with the Water Terra type, with Ivy Cudgel, Hornleech, Follow Me, and Spiky Shield. Pretty standard Wellspring Ogerpon. The Wellspring Mask, of course, gave me it that form change into the water typing. And yes, it's just a great mon into specifically Kyogre. It is a great Kyogre counter because otherwise the team doesn't have much to pressure Kyogre, right? You have Zoroark, Dialga as special attackers, which don't do too much damage. The coverage isn't great. Cali Ice, Incineroar, Ursaluna all hate Kyogre. So having a mon that you kind of need to patch that really weak matchup and can help out into Water Shifu as well, Wellspring Kyogre is your Pokemon. So it is just a mon here to help out against Kyogre, offer redirection, some coverage with Ivy Cudgel and Hornleech, and it is a tanky one with max HP, 68 attack with Inanimate Nature, and then quite a bit of speed, special defense, and defense. I don't really know if the speed accomplishes too much because I know that this speed ties with max speed Smeargle, if I'm not mistaken, which is an interesting decision, but across the board it's just a bulky Wellspring Ogerpon. It's just going to be able to tank attacks and help out against the Kyogre matchup, but while dish out a decent amount of damage thanks to the Wellspring boosting up the attacks that it can go for. And yeah, that's pretty much what Wellspring does. It's mainly a Kyogre check while just dishing out a good amount of damage and being a support mon. So how to use the team across the board, it is mainly a Trick Room team. You get up the Trick Room and you try to sweep with your Dialga, your Calyx Ice Rider, and your Ursaluna mainly. You have the Zoroark, which is able to disguise as the Dialga. You have the fake out support from Incineroar as well as the redirection from Ogerpon to help set up that Trick Room. And you try to do as much damage as possible with the Ursaluna, Calyx Ice Rider, and the Dialga. Across the board, Zoroark can definitely be disruptive, especially into Pokemon that would be generally good into the Dialga and can fire off some pretty big damage or make them utilize the resources and set up the Dialga to come in later in the game and really wreak havoc. Yeah, quite a few leads. I would say mainly you just want to make sure you disguise the Zoroark as the Dialga, because otherwise you could, I guess, disguise as Ursaluna and maybe the Ogerpon in some concepts, and it would be in very situational matchups, but mostly you will be disguising the Zoroark as the Dialga. You want to have Dialga as the fourth slot because you don't want it to be revealed to be Zoroark when you have Cali Ice or the other Pokemon in the back, because that would just give it away. So mainly just make sure that Zoroark is the first slot if you're bringing it, as well as Dialga in the last slot if you do want to go for the Illusion disguise. Otherwise you do have other common options, like you could still do Calyx Ice Rider with Incineroar even without the option for Intimidate. It's still a good lead. Incineroar plus Dialga can work out. Incineroar Zoroark we mentioned before, and yeah, you could even lead both restricted. You could lead up to Ursaluna straight up with the Flame Orb. Wellspring Ogerpon with the redirection, especially in a Kyogre matchup, will be probably taking the field early. There are quite a few things you can do with the team, but mostly probably just disguising the Zoroark as the Dialga. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And let me know in the comments down below what do you think of Zoroark, because I think Zoroark was a really cool Pokemon in Gen 5. Wasn't a big fan of the Zoroark movie, which I wasn't a big fan of at all, but the Zoroark concept, I love the design of Hisui Zoroark. I think it's super sick. Gen 5 Zoroark was also, I felt like Illusion was a really cool ability. Of course, it's just really hard to use in competitive, but I do like Zoroark as a concept. I think it's really interesting. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and let's get started and play some games. Calyx Ice Rider, Lunala, Smeargle, Urshifu, Torkoal, and Inity. Hard Trick Room. I think the 6 ended up winning the Taiwan Master Ball League, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was Hong Kong. It was one of the two, I'm pretty sure. But we have a... should be Dark Urshifu, Decorate Smeargle, all that, you know, good stuff. I think my plan is leading Zoroark with... I lead Incineroar? Lead Incineroar, it's not necessary though. I kind of want to lead Zoroark Incineroar. I bring Ursaluna. Ursaluna is decent into the... as a Tricker Mom, but I don't know if it's really worth it. I don't even know if I want to bring Cali Ice, because Cali Ice is good at switching as their own Cali Ice, but it's like really... I guess Terra Dragon's pretty good here though. Although I won't be able to Terra it. Kind of awkward. I know Wellspring is not being brought because it doesn't do anything. I feel like it's Ursaluna Dialga or it's Cali Ice. I think we're going to do Ursaluna Dialga, because I want to transform into Dialga because it's the best mon to transform into. Otherwise it would be the Ursaluna, and I just don't think that's it. I don't know what they're leading here. They could lead to Smeargle. They might not. We'll see. It's going to be the lead of the Lunala entity. Okay. Versus the Incineroar, Wolfe's Incineroar, and the Dialga. Okay. I would like to break Shadow Shield immediately, so I think I'm just going to go for a Burning Jealousy and a knockoff into the Lunala. I have a Soul Vest, so I should be able to live any attack other than like Helping Hand Meteor Beam, I suppose. And by me going for the Burning Jealousy, I think that's pretty good. If they want to go for like a Moongeist Beam into my Dialga slot, because they're not going to Expanding Force into position, that's really good. But yeah, we are going to just draw off attacks, get this Shadow Shield broken onto Lunala, go for the Burning Jealousy. We are going to see Helping Hand come out, so all right. As we do go for Burning Jealousy to break that Shadow Shield, Meteor Beam does come out. Unfortunately, I do not think Incineroar is going to be able to tank this attack, which is very unfortunate, but not much I can say. I guess I could have Terra, but I didn't confirm that. Or we could just dodge, because Incineroar just like that. Wolfe's Incineroar, man. Wolfe's Incineroar. What can I say, man? What can I say? That is the world champ difference. You know what? We'll take that. We'll take that. Sure, I could have went into Ursaluna for the Incineroar slot, but you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. They're going to bring out the Urshifu. Dark Urshifu. Okay. Which is still a threat, so I got to keep that in mind. I already Terra'd everything I needed to. I'm not going to Terra Ground you. I don't think I Terra Ghost you ever. I'm just going to Hyper Voice for damage, I suppose. And we're going to go for... I think I swap Incineroar into Ursaluna, because I don't really need Ursaluna too much. I don't know if they're going to double my Dialga, but if they double my Dialga, it's going to be Wicked Blow, because it's the Zoroark in disguise. If they close combat, it fails, and they should know that this is Zoroark by this point. If they close combat my Ursaluna, it's a fine sack. The damage is just insane. Okay, they close combat into the Ursaluna, get a crit, but the crit shouldn't matter. Did the Entity Trick Room here? And the Entity Trick Room is fine. Yeah, they Trick Roomed. I mean, I think I'm good. I think I'm good here. Because I can go Incineroar and I can Terra Bug. So... Wait. Why is this Incineroar Blaze? I think they forgot the Incineroar Intimidate. It's so... Don't tell me it's so you can transform your... Oh, it's because he uses... I actually did not know that. I actually did not know that. Okay. We're going to Hyper Voice. And we're going to Terra Bug. And we're going to U-turn. The... Entity. Yeah. It's so funny. I didn't know. I did not know the Incineroar was Blaze until I played this game. I didn't notice it when I looked over the team. I did not know. That's a funny thing. I think go for Follow Me, which isn't going to change much. They're close combat locked in, so they're going to close combat my Incin. Or I guess what's annoying about this position actually is my wait, are they not? Oh yeah, it's Choice Band Ursh. Could have probably knocked off the Entity instead, because now I'm switching into the Dialga, which is taking close combat, which is not ideal. Granted, I don't think this is awful, realistically. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? I don't know what this game is, man. Sometimes you just have games like this. They close combated, I guess, my Zoroark, because they either forgot that it was a Zoroark, or they just like were like, oh, they thought I was gonna switch out. I mean, I'll take it. We're gonna go for Bitter Malice, and we're gonna go for Trick Room. Reverse the Trick Room. They're gonna go fire off the Glacial. As we are just able to tank the attacks very easily. Surprised they didn't go for any Terras, but this works out pretty well for me as I will get the Bitter Malice off. And then I think I go for Bitter Malice plus Earth Power. That should finish off the Kali Ice. And it covers any Terra. So we do go for the Trick Room here. And we go for the... I think we go for Hyper Voice here because it's stronger if they Terra. And they do have access to Terra. So I'm going to Earth Power and Hyper Voice. Oh, they don't Terra. I'm pretty sure Hyper Voice or Earth Power will KO anyway. Okay. Sometimes Pokemon be like that sometimes. I guess when your opponent's seeing illusions, it might... I guess that's just what happens. Sometimes this is not reality, but sometimes it is a hard cold truth. But I don't know. Zoroark was able to... I mean, good Meteor Beam dodge. Wolfe's Incineroar. I guess I should use this Incineroar. I think everyone should get this Incineroar, I think. All right, I forgot to hit the press record button, but we have ranked number 1278 with Miraidon, Calyx Ice Rider, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Landorus Incarnate, and Urshifu. Okay, looks pretty standard for the most part. How do I want to approach this game? Because we have quite a few Pokemon that we could go for. Kali Ice, of course, is a great mon. There's the Zoroark that can dish out a lot of damage. I kind of like the idea of just leading the Zoroark. I want to lead Incineroar in this matchup. Incineroar is only good against Kali Ice and their Incineroar. It's not really necessary otherwise. I want to bring Ursaluna because Ursaluna is really strong against their team. I want to bring Kali Ice. I think this is a no Incineroar angle, which kind of stinks because I don't really have the best ways of dealing damage to their Incineroar. I don't know if they're going to bring Urshifu. It is pretty good against my team, but there is a Wellspring in mind. So it's a bit tricky for them to utilize, but I think I'm going to go with Zoroark, Kali Ice. With, I want to say it's Ursaluna and Dialga back, because I think I want to copy the Dialga. Do I want to copy Dialga or do I want to copy Ursaluna? I want to copy Dialga. Because they aren't going to Surging Strikes the Dialga, and they are probably going to click Close Combat into it, or they just target the other slot, which is fine. So if they do lead Urshifu, that's the case there. I also want them not to go for an electric type move. I don't want them to... Yeah, I think this is better still. Okay, Landorus Incineroar is an interesting one versus my Dialga and Kali Ice. Okay, this is a pretty good lead. Potentially. Kind of curious on what they want to do here. They could have sub, but if they have sub, Hyper Voice goes through sub, and I could get some pretty big damage into their Landorus. They know I'm clear Amulet Kali, and they also know that the Kali is real. So my idea is to get rid of the Landorus as quickly as possible. Like, that is priority number one. I'm gonna double protect to scout for like a fake out plus an Earth Power immediately, because they might go for fake out Earth Power. I guess I could go for a Hyper Voice immediately. Because if they fake out the Dialga, it's awkward. But I think they always fake out the Kali Ice, because Kali Ice is the threat here. It's not the Dialga. They probably Earth Power the Dialga if they do attack, or they could Earth Power the Kali Ice. Again, if they go for sub, it's fine, because I can go for Hyper Voice. We're going to see a Terra immediately, so this might be Terra Water. Okay. Terra Water is fine. So they commit their Terra, which is... absolutely works. Kind of curious if they brought a Amoonguss. That's my only question. Like, do they have a Amoonguss in back? But we'll double protect. I don't want to Terra my Kali Ice, I'm pretty sure. We're going to see Earth Power come out into the Dialga. Okay, and then what did Incineroar do? Knock off into my Kali Ice. Okay. I really need to get rid of that Landorus as quickly as possible. I think I'm just going to throw off attacks. I don't need Trick 'em Up at the current moment. And since they Terra the Lando, they get affected by my Dialga with their Kali Ice. So I think my best play is just to go for attacks. Just draw off a Glacial and a Hyper Voice, because I'm a bit scared of how much Hyper Voice does because I don't think it does incredible amounts of damage here. I'm hoping that Hyper Voice puts in and Glacial puts in range of another Hyper Voice, but we'll see. They Earth Power to Dialga, which is perfect. Okay. Awesome. Because it's a Zoroark. I went for knockoff into Cali Ice. I don't need my Clear Amulet in this match because the Incineroar is already out. Go for the Glacial. Good damage. Perfect. They probably protect the Landers here. I need a Mon that's faster than Landers around, so I'm going to protect. And I think we go for the high horsepower into the Incineroar. I don't know if they're going to protect land of Parting Shot. That could be a play, but I'm okay with that. Let's see. Yeah, they do protect the Landorus because they want Landorus around. It's one of their best answers to the Dialga, which they don't have access to. They go for the U-turn to try and KO the Zoroark. At least I get the KO with high horsepower. Although this does give them a free switch, which is awkward, but I still don't think this is awful. All right. Okay, not the worst. Not the worst. Ideally, Miraidon comes in and just clicks a Electro attack. Oh, wait. They brought out the Cali Ice. What? Bringing up their Cali Ice is interesting. I think my best play is just to go for a Hyper Voice. And just get damaged by going for Glacial to cover any switch. Even if they get the boost, I mean, I have my own Dialga, so I don't think it's too bad. Let's see. Trying to figure out like why they brought the cat. I guess they just want the boost, but I'm surprised they didn't bring Miraidon unless they don't have Miraidon back. I do get the KO on Lando with the Hyper Voice, which is kind of massive. That damage is pretty good. And we are going to be able to get a Glacial Lance off. Really good damage to the Cali Ice as they're firing out Trick Room. Okay, final Mon, Amoonguss? Okay, it was Amoonguss. I was about to say, like, there's no way they make that play based off that. Okay. Amoonguss makes sense. Awkward position here. Protect is obvious, but I don't know if they want to Spore or not. I mean, the play here for them is to Spore. I think my best option is just to go for a Bitter Malice into the... I think it's Bitter Malice Protect. Do they Pollen Puff or do they Spore here? I got it wrong. If I reverse Trick Room or Glacial Lance, I'm in an incredible spot. Okay. All right, we do lose our Zoroark. Granted, it's not the worst, but this is still not an incredible position. Problem is, I don't know if Dialga lives a +2 Glacial Lance. We are min speed Ursaluna, so we can try this out, but dangerous position. I mean, we have to go for Protect here. I think we actually attempt... do we attempt to double? No, I just fire off a Glacial. Yeah, I just fire off a Glacial. They're going to Spore my Cali Ice and just Glacial. And I don't have a reason to Terra Ursaluna in this turn. Yep. So, Spore going to come out of Cali Ice. They are going to go... Well, my Cali Ice is faster. Oh, wait. That actually makes some interesting things depending on the speed turns. All right. Go for Glacial. Burn is activated on the Ursaluna. 2 turns left. We're gonna Facade the Cali Ice. We Terra, so we don't go down to Glacial. And we're gonna Facade the Cali. Did we Facade the Cali Ice? I need to get rid of the Amoonguss. I think we Facade Glacial or we Facade Protect attempt. I'm gonna Facade and I'm gonna Protect attempt, I think. Because I need to get rid of Amoonguss before the Trick Room runs out so I can actually get Flash Cannons off. But the thing is, I need damage on the Cali Ice as well, so this is kind of awkward, but I think we can manage. I think I have this set up here, but we'll see. Cali Ice stayed asleep, so that's unlucky for me. Did they Pollen Puff? No, they Spore my Cali Ice in case I switch, I suppose. They go for Glacial. Oh, they are also min speed. This might come down to potential speed tie. This might come down to potential speed tie. And also Dialga lives the +2 Glacial. So Facade gonna come out into Amoonguss, pick up the knockout. Rocky Helmet doesn't matter because the burn isn't gonna take the knockout, okay? I think this literally just comes down to this. Actually, I think that it doesn't even matter if the Ursaluna attacks. I think what only matters is if the Dialga lives the Glacial at +2. We'll find out. I'm clicking Facade, Flash Cannon. I don't have Protect, unfortunately. If I had Protect on the Dialga, I could Protect, but I do not. They win the speed tie, but it only matters does Dialga get KO'd here. Dialga hangs on. Dialga hangs on. Gets the Flash Cannon off, and then it's the final turn of Trick Room. Trick Room reverses. We get 2 Flash Cannons off, guaranteed into this Cali Ice, which will secure the game. Whew. That did a lot more than I expected, actually. Okay. Good thing I targeted the Amoonguss. The Amoonguss was a threat, apparently. But we will Flash Cannon the Cali Ice and secure the win. Thankfully, bulky Dialga coming in super clutch there. Being able to survive that +2 Glacial. And yeah. Okay, goodbye Cali Ice. And that is GG. Zoroark actually did some decent work with the Hyper Voice. Because Landers is such a big problem to what I brought. So I was able to actually having a Pokemon that outsped in threats, and no Miraidon's crazy. They didn't bring Miraidon, but then again, I guess when they saw the Ursaluna plus the Cali Ice plus the Dialga, they're like, maybe I'll just stick with Cali Ice. Which I guess, I mean, Dialga's still good in the Cali Ice, but as we showcased there, I suppose. Chi-Yu, Whimsicott, Miraidon, Calyx, Shadow Rider, Iron Hands, and Tornadus. Okay, this is a very, very fast offensive paced team. How do I want to approach this one? Ursaluna's really good into a lot of their team, and I mean really good. It's just getting up the Trick Room. I think we just want to go with Cali Ice lead. Cali Ice lead plus Zoroark doesn't seem bad. Man, I want Incineroar, but it's not necessary. I think I'm going to do Cali Ice Zoroark, have Ursaluna, and disguise into Dialga. Yeah, as tempting as Incineroar is, it's not necessary to win this game. I'm kind of curious on what they will decide to lead into, because I don't know if they have like a super safe lead against my team, because it's just me getting up Trick Room, I'll be in a good spot. They go with Chi-Yu and the Miraidon versus my Dialga and my Cali Ice. Okay, so they have no way to confirm anything. I'm kind of curious on what moves they lock into. Heat Wave Dazzling Gleam would be pretty bad, although Electric Drift would be super ideal. But we'll see. I do want to scout for what they're going to lock into, but the problem is if they double out on a Shadow Rider for the Encore, that's pretty bad. But I will always just scout here because I think scouting is in my best interest. So this is a tricky spot because it really heavily depends what does Miraidon lock into. I feel like it's going to be they're going to be locking into the Dazzling Gleam, it looks like. Okay. Maybe this is lead inclined Dazzling Gleam too much. Because I can't Terra. I don't have Terra Water. If I Terra Water, this would be a great spot, but I don't have Terra Water. Alright. Oh, they lock in the Snarl, not Heat Wave. Wait. Can I live that? Maybe. They do Dazzle. I kind of wish I just led Dialga, because if I led Dialga, I definitely live this double up. Game's not over if I lose both, so I'm just going to go for a Glacial. And I'm going to go for a... Actually, no, I Trick Room, because I always need Trick Room up. And I guess we just get damage with Hyper Voice. They retreat the Miraidon. Ooh, okay. That works out really well for me. Into Iron Hands. That makes sense. All right, Iron Hands in, but I do get a Hyper Voice off, which is kind of massive. This is some decent damage across the board, and we get to Trick 'em up, which is the more important one here. So I will gladly take that. And then I can keep Zoroark around as a sack. I think I want to get in my Ursaluna so I can activate the... I want to activate my Flame Orb immediately. We got to Trick 'em up. So they fake out my Kali Ice to get a Snarl off again. That's fine. I'm just getting my Ursaluna, threatening as much damage as possibly can, because they already activated their Terra, so I don't have to worry about the Terra nearly as much. All right. Weird start, but it works. Also, if I keep the Zoroark around, it's an Astral Barrage switch, which is beautiful. Also, the last mon shouldn't be Whimsicott. It's probably Shadow Rider with Sash, so this works out. I go for a low kick, and it doesn't KO my Kali Ice, which is super ideal because I do get the high horsepower off into the Chi-Yu. The Chi-Yu goes down, and right now, looking really rough for my opponent. Looking very rough. All right. So they expected, I think, my double, or they expected the Terra to come out from Kali. Maybe they expected fire or water, and they wanted to get Iron Hands in to threaten to fake out, but did not work out. They're going to bring out their Kali Shadow, which is fine. The problem is all my Pokemon speed tie. All my Pokemon speed tie. I think my best play is just to protect my Ice Rider and go for the Terra Earthquake or Terra Ghost. Because with the Earthquake and the Guts, I should KO the Iron Hands, especially after it took a little bit of chip damage. Then I'll break the Sash on the Shadow Rider, and then I can go for Glacial Lance afterward and seal up the win here. I think that's the plan. If I don't KO the Iron Hands, it's just going to come down to a Kali Ice speed tie. So let's see. Oh, and they protect Shadow Rider. They don't take the advantage of going for the Astral Barrage double up. Wait, that's beautiful for me. Because now they made sure, like, Ursaluna gets 2 attacks off, which is amazing for me. So I go for Protect Earthquake. And now I get to go for Glacial Lance Headlong Rush, or I get to go for a Glacial Lance. Like, really any attacks just work out for me. Yeah, because I KO Iron Hands. Beautiful. And we should know that the Miraidon with Dazzling Gleam is probably choice specs. Especially with their game plan on how they wanted to approach it. So I should just be able to go for Glacial, and I should be able to go for Facade. Or I guess I Headlong Rush the what's it called? I just go for Glacial, and I go for Headlong Rush into the Miraidon. They go for a double protect and get it, but that's fine. Actually, yeah, no, this is fine. Headlong Rush gonna KO the Miraidon, and I think we're in a pretty good setup shape. We're in a pretty good setup shape. Glacial Land's going to go into Protect, but at this point, I mean, I have one more turn of Trick Room. They need to get a triple, and even if they get the triple, I have a way to secure the win anyway. Like, the train disappears, but there's one more turn of Trick Room. We're going to go for Glacial, and I don't risk them getting the triple, because if they get the triple, they can actually technically win. So I'm going to go out into my Zoroark. The reason I go to Zoroark is because if they decide to Protect, then they're going to fire off an Astral, because well, they should know I'm Zoroark based off this, but they probably go for Astral here anyway, I'd assume. I do bring it down to Focus Ash. This is Astral Barrage. Yep. And Zoroark being a normal type is immune to it. So all I have to do is bring out this Dialga because this guarantees to win because they were forced to Astral in that position. Also, I don't know if Astral's their only move, but if it's like the original, it's Encore Disable Shadow Rider. But this prevents like them getting a double knockout into like, let's say I stayed in with Ursaluna, they got triple protect, then they could just Astral, right? And because they just go for Astral, they get a double knockout if I don't switch into Zoroark. But I think this play allowed me to break a Sash if they decided to commit to going for the Astral Barrage here. And they did get the triple. I had a way to actually like force them to not be able to get a knockout with like Astral Barrage crit into my Dialga, plus the Zoroark still being around. So I don't think I'm explaining it the best because at the end of the day, as long as I have a Mon next to the Zoroark, they can't Astral Barrage sweep me. That's basically what I'm saying. So I always get a guaranteed hit off regardless. So I can either get a Trick Room up here, which guarantees the win, or a Bitter Mouse as well. They changed to Calyx F Psychic. Okay. So I mean, I guess I should just Flash Cannon realistically here, but yeah, I should have Flash Cannon. I should only Trick Room if it was at full HP. Because now they can get a 4 protects in a row. And now they can win, so I definitely should have Flash Cannon that last turn. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think it's like really likely that they get it, but I mean, I gave them a chance to win, I suppose. I guess it also depends on if Shadow Rider can even knock out the Dialga, because the Dialga has good special defense. We'll see. We're gonna go for Earthquake plus the Flash Cannon. They're gonna start going for the 4 protects. Even if you get the 4 protects, I still don't think you knock out Dialga, but I think it might just come down to a crit anyway. So we will see. Definitely should have Flash Cannon that turn, but I mean, for what the start was, if they stayed in to click Dazzle, it would have been bringing out my Dialga next to Ursaluna. I think I could still sweep under Trick Room with Terra Ghost, Earthquake, but it was going to be a lot harder. I was going to take a lot of damage on the Dialga in order to get that. They don't even get the doubles, so we will be able to just finish off this Shadow Rider. And yeah, what's funny is the Illusion didn't really help us here. The only thing that really helped us was the fact that we were a normal type on the Zoroark that could actually threaten the Shadow Rider and be immune to the Astral Barrage. That was the big part that Zoroark did provide here. And I guess it did kind of make them a weird position because Snarl plus they knew that I was probably getting Trick Room up. Actually, no, it kind of actually helped because they probably went into Iron Hands not only because they were scared of the Kali Ice, but it's because they knew they couldn't knock out the Dialga if I was a Dialga with Dazzling Gleam Snarl. So they tried to position Iron Hands to be able to set up for a KO, but it didn't work out. Zamazenta Fluttermane with Miraidon, Amoonguss, Xianpao, and Dragonite. Oh boy, I could have some fun stuff. I want to transform into the Dialga for sure in this match. I'm going to lead the Incineroar plus the Zoroark. Make it seem like I am going to go for the bait here. I want Kali Ice in this matchup. It's okay. It's not necessary. Probably not. Yeah, I think it's always going to be Zoroark plus my Incineroar with Ursaluna and Dialga back. I am bringing 3 body press weaknesses though. Maybe it's not Incineroar then. Did I not lead Incineroar? Probably not Incineroar then. I'm trying to figure out what I lead though. Trying to figure out what I lead if it's not Incineroar. Maybe it's just lead Kali Ice. I think it's gonna be Zoroark Kali Ice with the Ursaluna and then the Dialga back. I guess I don't need Incineroar. It makes Xianpao a bit harder to deal with, but I think I can manage. Let's try it out. I think it's gonna be Xianpao plus the Zama lead, but we'll see what they decide to go for. I'm gonna have some fun techs to deal with the Zamazenta potentially, so I am really hoping that I'm able to execute it. But it looks like okay, Miraidon Fluttermane is not what I anticipated. Okay, as I do lead Dialga plus the Kali Ice. All right. Interesting turn of events. They know my Kali Ice is real. They can't confirm the Dialga with what they have. All right, what's my play here? Are they going to go for a Volt Switch immediately? We're going to see Booster Energy active immediately on the Flutter Mane. Going to be Speed Booster. Okay. I have a few different plays I can go for. I don't know if I want to Terra Dragon the Cali Ice. I could, but it's not necessary. I think I just want to scout for what they're going to click here. I'm just going to double protect because I would like to know if the Flutter Mane has Taunt. Miraidon, does it lock in the Volt Switch? If it locks in the Volt Switch, it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to go for a double protect. I don't see a reason not to double protect here. Then I have two plays I could go for later, which is involving Ursaluna or not. I'm going to see a Terra immediately come out from my opponent. Okay, going to be the Terra on the Miraidon into the Terra Steel. That's a new one. That's a new one. Terra Steel Miraidon. That's a new one. We will double protect here. They don't know any information because Dialga is normally faster than Cali Ice, so they don't have any information about like what this could be here. But let's see, what are they going to decide here? Going to be the Taunt coming out from the Flutter Mane into the Dialga slot. And what does the Miraidon click? Electro Drift straight into the Cali Ice. Yeah, okay. Sure. Can I just go Ursaluna? They're probably going to taunt Electro Drift that slot. If they don't, it's okay. It still is probably fine for me. I'm not really too concerned about the Flutter, but I do have to try to get rid of it, I think. I think my best play is probably just to go for a Bitter Malice into the Flutter Mane and a swap into Ursaluna. If they go for the same play again, it works out really well for me. If they go for Taunt Electro Drift into Cali Ice, that also really works out for me. I'm okay with that. But yeah, Terra Steel Miraidon, that's a new one. Especially since they already have Zamazenta, so... I don't know if this is Choice Miraidon. I guess we'll find out, but I assume you would be if you decide to taunt the Dialga like that. But then again, maybe you thought I was going to taunt Glacial. As we do retreat into Ursaluna to hopefully take the Electro Drift. They do taunt again my Dialga slot. Alright. As I get Bitter Mouse. I'm faster than the Miraidon. As they did Electro Drift. Okay. I was not expecting to be faster. Sure. I mean, they know I'm Zoroark now. I kind of want to go for... There's a lot I could go for here. Are they going to Draco with their Miraidon? I mean... They are slower than Zoroark, which is just insane. I mean, I guess like I am pretty fast on Zoroark, but that doesn't confirm, I guess, guaranteed. But I mean, it makes my life easier potentially. I think I'm just going to go for a Bitter Malice into the Flutter, and I'm just going to go for Headlong Rush. They don't have a switch to Headlong Rush for the Miraidon slot. We are going to see the swap. This is Zamazenta. I kind of wish I went for the Burning Jealousy, but I still think this works out fine. Pow. I mean, Pow is taking a lot of damage from Headlong Rush. I kind of wish I went for Burning Jealousy, though, because getting rid of Pow would have been really nice. That Pain Split? What am I looking at here? Bitter Malice going to come out in a Flutter. Does a pretty good amount of damage. Get the attack drop as we do get the Headlong Rush into the POW, and the POW will be brought down to Focus Sash. I mean, this has just been super awkward. Super awkward, but sure. Huh. Pain Split. I'm going to attempt a Burning Jealousy, and I'm going to swap out in my Cali Ice. Because Ursaluna is so massive for dealing with the Miraidon because it's Terra Steel. It's my only way to really hit it. So I will go for Burning Jealousy, and I'm going to swap here. I wonder if they would go Zamazenta and just go for an Ice type attack. But no switches on my opponent's side. We will swap out into our Cali Ice, which should generally be safe here on an Ice type attack if they go for the Ice type attack. Let's see if this is double in the Zoroark or not, because that's a big question. They Pain Split my Zoroark, okay. Which means I lose my Sash. A bit unfortunate. They did crash, beautiful, into what was my Ursaluna, so I do get the Burn Jealousy off into the Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao goes down, beautiful. I mean, this has not worked exactly how I thought it would, but I mean, this has still been pretty good. Taunt wears off on the Zoroark, but it doesn't really change much here. All right. What'd I bring in? Miraidon again? The thing about Miraidon is the terrain is almost over, so I can just double protect this last turn terrain, then Kali Ice lives any attack. Yeah. I just don't see a problem not with going for a double protect here. They could go into Zamazenta for the Flutter slot, but even if they go with Zamazenta for the Flutter slot, like... Pretty sure Zoroark will outspeed the Zamazenta at that point and get some damage off. I'm trying to figure out what their move is here, because this is the last time electric terrain, so I'm not really too concerned about the Miraidon. I would have probably been more concerned about the... Oh, what's it called? I would have probably been more concerned about the Zamazenta, but I mean, if I get Trick Room up, I'm in great shape. They already Terra'd. They don't have resist a headlong rush. So I will just protect here. And then try to focus down the Flutter. I mean, this could be Pain Split, I guess, into a attack into the Kali Ice, but let's see. They did go for the Pain Split, attempting the Kali Ice, plus an electric move. I guess that's their plan for trying to get rid of my Kali Ice. Is the Flutter Mane ever clicking Moonblast? Because if you're not clicking Moonblast, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go back into Ursaluna and click Bitter Malice into the Flutter, and I'm just going to swap out Ursaluna, because if you go for Pain Split, you're not going to heal enough. Bitter Malice is going to KO the Flutter, and then I'll be in an okay spot. How many Electro Drifts have they used? That was their third one. This is about to be the fourth one they use. I also was debating about just Terra Dragoning, but I can't risk Moonblast. Electro Drift would also KO the Kali Ice, so I'd rather just risk the Ursaluna here. Even though it is probably not the greatest risk, I could still win against the Kali or against these Pokemon even without Ursaluna, I think. Aegis Fire of Gleam. Zoroark's able to hang on, which is huge. And yeah, I'm really glad I didn't go for the Terra Dragon there. Bitter Malice gonna KO the Flutter, so Flutter goes down. Beautiful. And did they Electro Drift my Zoroark? Snarl. Okay, so it is like an Assault Vest set. Okay, good to confirm. Oh, dealing with this Miraidon gonna be a bit of a problem, though. A little bit of a problem. Although I should be able to win with, I think, Dialga at this point in the game. Let's see. This should be Zamazenta coming in. That is Zamazenta, right? Yeah, okay. I think I should live any combo of attacks. Since it's no electric terrain, I'm going to go for Terra Ground Trick Room. And I'm going to go for Protect with my Ursaluna. It's super obvious, so do I just attack here? I don't need... I mean, I think it's super obvious. I think it's super obvious. If they go for Body Press... Well, the only thing they can knock me out with is either Draco Meteor or Body Press into the Ursaluna. I think it's probably better just to Earthquake. Yeah, I'm going to Earthquake. If I lose Ursaluna, it's not even too bad because Terra Ground Dialga is in a really good offensive position. I guess if they Snarl Body Press my Ursaluna, it's a bit annoying, but then again, I just double up the slot with High Horsepower plus Earth Power, and I think I'm okay. Oh, right, they have Dazzle. It doesn't KO my Ursaluna, though, as Body Press is going to come out. That did a lot, actually, to my Dialga. Okay, but we do get the Earthquake from my Ursaluna into the Terra Steel Miraidon and the Zamazenta. Zamazenta brought down low. Miraidon Terra Steel is gone, and now I get to go for Terra Ground Earth Power into the Zamazenta and clean up this win here. So yeah, I really don't know what to say. I guess I did go down to Draco Meteor plus Fang, so I'm glad I went for the Earthquake, because if they went for Draco Meteor Body Press, Earthquake was 100% to play, because if they got to knock on Dialga, then at least I get the KO into Miraidon. I still have Ursaluna around, and I think Protect Trick Room is pretty safe into Headlong Rush because my Kali Ice was healthy. So we're going to be able to seal the win this way, which is solid. So we will go for a Terra Ground Earth Power and a High Horsepower, and we will clean up the game from there. So unless they get 4 protects in a row, they need to get 4 protects in a row. And even if they try to get 4 protects in a row, it's still a mind game, because on the 4th turn I could go for double Trick Room if necessary to reset another 4 turns. So odds are not really in their favor. High horsepower going to come out, do a decent chunk, but more importantly, the Terra Ground Earth power from this Dialga will finish off the Zamazenta. And yeah, good spot, good spot. So not what I anticipated. I thought they were going to lead like POW plus the Zamazenta. I was hoping I'd get the Burning Jealousy off, burn the Zamazenta immediately. I would have been in a fantastic spot, but I mean, I was able to get good damage in the Flutter Mane, I suppose, and get rid of it. The Terra was forced on the Miraidon because they were afraid of both Glacial Lands and a potential Draco Meteor, so they went for that instead. I was able to get rid of the POW, which was nice, and yeah, was able to snowball. Why is there a Vaporeon on my screen? Why is there a Vaporeon on my screen with Indie Female, Urshifu, Tornadus, Kyogre, and Calyx Ice Rider? Well, is it Dark Ursh or Water Ursh? Because it could be Dark Ursh on this team. But I do like Wellspring Ogerpon a lot here. Dialga is really good too. Actually, yeah, Dialga plus the Dialga plus the Wellspring is just really nice. I think I'm gonna lead the Zoroark disguised as the Dialga, because if I make close combat, that's incredible. With the Wellspring in the back, I'm gonna bring the. Did I bring Ursaluna? Not necessary. I think it's probably Cali Ice and my Dialga, although I am tempted to bring the Ursaluna just because of how powerful Facade is. I think this should be all right. We'll see, because am I gonna lose to Vaporeon? Is it gonna be Brought? I'm kind of curious if it will be. I'm curious, so let's see. They're not gonna bring Tailwind stuff against me. They're not gonna bring Torn, so I'm kind of curious on what they actually bring. Gonna be Kyogre and Inity. Okay, that makes sense. Versus Wellspring and my Dialga. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good shape for the most part. I should be able to threaten an Ivy Cudgel into the Inity for some pretty good damage. I will go for Protect, and I'm just going to go for Ivy Cudgel into the Inity. This should be Follow Me plus whatever Kyra wants to do, whether it's Water Spout, Thunder, Ice Beam. They could Terra Grass, I suppose, but if they go for Terra Grass, I just destroy them with my own Cali Ice, so that's fine. I'm just going to Ivy Cudgel the Inity because it gives me some pretty good damage. They do Terra, so they might go for Terra Grass Helping Hand, but I don't think that knocks out Ogerpon anyway. They go for Terra Water. Are they trying to blow up the Dialga? I know their team matchup is rough in the Dialga, but we'll see. I mean, you don't Terra Water there unless they're going for a Water Spout, right? It makes no sense. Yeah, they go for Follow Me. Perfect. Ivy Cudgel going to be fired off. Okay, so it's not Scarf Kyogre. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect because this is Zoroark in disguise. I can go for a Hyper Voice here, get rid of the Inity, and then I can KO the or not KO Kyogre, but I get a lot of damage with Thorn Leech. So they were super scared of the Dialga, and it makes sense because Dialga is weak, but I'm showcasing the Zoroark, and we're gonna outspeed the Inity and get the Hyper Voice before the. Oh, this is amazing. We get the Hyper Voice off into the Inity. Goodbye, Inity. Because we got bit of chip into that Kyogre. I think that's a Solvest because geez, that took it so well. But Horn Leech is more important. We get big damage into the Kyogre. It is almost knocked out. It is almost knocked out. They go for Water Spout, but I mean, this might still do like half to Zoroark just because it's Zoroark. Yeah, it actually did some decent damage. Okay. Perfect. Now who's coming in? They might have brought Tornadus actually because they might need it for the Wellspring. If this is Calyx Ice Rider, I think my play is to double up the Calyx Ice Rider with Bitter Malice into Terra Water Ivy Cudgel. So I'm gonna go for Bitter Malice, and I'm gonna go for Terra Water Ivy Cudgel, because I think that KOs the Calyrex. They're gonna retreat the Kyogre. I don't know if they're like choice specs or not. Urshifu comes in. You have to attack with the Calyrex Ice Rider, right? Because you need to put me in range of an attack from Urshifu. I'm like pretty sure you have to. So we go for the Terra with our Ogre Pond to get the extra power in the Ivy Cudgel. It's Rain Boosted Ivy Cudgel and then Bitter Malice. And yeah, we are able to double up the Calyrex Ice Rider. It looks like no Vaporeon on this match, unfortunately. But we will be able to KO the Calyrex Ice Rider guaranteed. I wonder if Ivy Cudgel would have just knocked out the Calyrex anyway, but I just want to ensure the knockout. So we get rid of the Calyrex Ice Rider. And now I'm pretty sure we just get to click Hornleech into I mean, yeah. Wait, is that me? No way. That better not be me. Okay, no, it wasn't me. It was them. Zoroark made people rage quit. And also, like, I did make the best play. I knew that they had to attack with Cali Ice there, because if it was Urshifu back, they had to get the damage on Ogre Pond to put in range of a close combat U-turn. Otherwise, like, I could just, like, if they protect and I Hornleech the Ogre slot, like, the game's 100% over. They just can't do, they don't have enough damage output at that point. So knew that they had to play somewhat aggressive in. Worked out. It worked out. No Vaporeon, but we take that win. Alex Ice Rider, Groudon, Fluttermane, Raging Bolt, Incineroar, and Amoonguss. All right. Looks like just a general balanced team. I feel like this looks like the top 8 team that was in or not top 8, top 16 Melbourne team. That's, why am I blanking out their name? Suika used. Okay. Not sure if it's going to be the same, because it was Body Press and Prison Cali Ice. I have no idea if that's going to be the case this time around. All right. How do I want to perform against this team? I want to go with Ursaluna is definitely good. Incineroar. I wish I had Intimidate really badly. There's only one of Groudon or Cali Ice could be Clear Amulet. Dialga is good here. I think I'm gonna lead Cali Ice immediately. Gonna lead Cali Ice plus the Zoroark. I think it's Ursaluna, Dialga in the back. Man, I kind of want Incineroar at the same time. Like, no Intimidate Incineroar just feels bad, man. I think it's worth bringing all the offense I can. Dialga and basically Flash Cannon and Earth Power, which is pretty important, because if we do catch a Terra Fire, it's a massive. Fluttermane Groudon lead versus my Cali Ice and the Dialga. Okay. I'm double protecting the Scout. I am scouting what you're clicking here. I am scouting what you're clicking right here. Like, I'm trying to catch a Taunt. I'm trying to catch an Eruption that's just randomly going to come out, because if it's Eruption, Moonblast, we're screwed. This lead probably gets screwed. We'll figure it out. Maybe Sash Flutter. I could probably get some damage with Burning Jealousy into a Glacial. I don't think the Groudon should be any setup on this team, and I don't think they're going to go for it. We're going to see Terra, probably Terra Fire on the Groudon, which means they're weak to the Ursaluna now. Wait, they Terra to Flutter instead. What? Into Stellar Terra. For Shadow Ball? Are they going for Shadow Ball Blades? Or are they going for like Gleam? They might be going for Gleam Blades. No, they Shadow Ball. And they do Precipice. I think this next turn is going to be super important of whether... I think this turn is going to be super important. I need to get Trick Room up. I think the play is just... It's either Terra Dragon or not. I don't know if they're going to Moonblast to cover for a Terra. I think they're just going to Shadow Ball Blades again. I don't have a switch anyway. I think we have to risk it. We go for the Trick Room. And we're going to go for a Burning Jealousy here. Just to get a bit of chip damage and break that Focus Sash on the Flutter. Please Shadow Ball and not Moonblast. Please Shadow Ball and not Moonblast. I think they want to go for Shadow Ball, but we'll see. No. Oh, they targeted Dialga. Wait. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. Get the Burning Jealousy off. Precipice Blades. Gonna KO my Zoroark. Honestly, the fact that Zoroark redirected their attention was just massive. They probably thought I was going to Terra my Dialga and switch out my Kali Ice, I think. I think that's what they were expecting there. But instead, I get the Terra Dragon, I get the Trick Room, and now we can bring out our Ursaluna. Granted, the game is nowhere near over. Like, this game is far from over. Do we go Ursaluna or do we go out into Dialga? That's the question. I think we go out into... This is tough. I think it's... I'm trying to think because I know that Incineroar and Kali Ice can switch in. I think my play is to go Ursaluna. And I think we draw off a Glacial Headlong Rush, or we either... I know I want to try to catch the Incin on the switch. I'm going to go for Glacial Headlong Rush. Just don't want a Headlong Rush because I don't want... Oh, this is tough. Actually, you know what? I'm going to Glacial and I'm going to swap out into Dialga. This is so difficult a position. I feel like they double swap here. I think I should have went Dialga first. Yeah, they would switch out to Groudon. This is one of Incin or Kali Ice. If it's Incin, I want the Headlong Rush, but I think this might be Kali Ice. No, they did switch an Incin. That's like a Headlong Rushed. Yeah, they double swap. Yeah. This is the problem with the Terra Dragon plan, was because of the fact that I'm forced to Terra Dragon. Now the Kali Ice is kind of problematic. I think I'm just going to high horsepower and I'm going to throw off a Flash Cannon. There's not much I can do. I don't have Protect, so I just got to go for a damage at this point. They probably just fake out my Dialga and go for like Glacial. If I get rid of the Incin though, that would actually be kind of massive. Because I think I'll live Fake Out into attack from Kali Ice, and then I can draw off Earthquake plus Flash Cannon. Oh, but I'm going to lose my answer to Groudon. But I want Incin to live? Probably. I'd probably want Incin to live the turn, actually. It might, though. It might live this combination. Fake Out going to come out. Expected. My horsepower going to come out into the Incin. It does pick up the knockout, though. If I live Glacial on my own Kali Ice, it's a great call. But the thing is, this is Glacial Landsman Kali Ice. I don't think I'm living this. Did they reverse Trick Room? Wait, they did reverse Trigger. Wait, that's huge for me, actually. This game is so confusing, but it might work. Is this Flutter? No, you should go Groudon, right? The thing is, if you go Groudon, you click Blades. If Flash Cannon can KO the Kali Ice on their slot, and I can get Trick Room back up, they lose. But if they go Flutter, I mean, they have no pressure against the Dialga currently. So this is such a weird position for them. That's why I'm shocked that they went for this combo. Groudon comes in, to be expected. I don't think I need the Trick Room up. I think I just need the KO into Cali Ice. Flash Cannon is 160 base power after it's super effective, then the same type attack bonus, so stronger than Draco Meteor. I don't know if we KO the Cali Ice though, that's my problem. The reason I go for Glacial is because if they're min speed Cali Ice and they do live, I have the chance to win a speed tie to win the game. So that's why I'm gonna go for Glacial instead of the attack, instead of the Trick Room. They go for Blades. Dialga survives. You do get a Flash Cannon off. Does this KO? If not, it comes down to Cali Ice speeds. Barely missing the knockout. Oh. We have one more chance. We have one more chance. Although I think it's very unlikely we win this game. I think it's very unlikely we win this game, unfortunately. We're gonna go Ursaluna. We're gonna protect. We're gonna go for Earthquake. And we're gonna pray that the Cali Ice is min speed on their team, although I don't think it is very likely. I think I just wasted a turn. I think I just going Ursaluna was bad because I knew that they were going to probably double switch here into Cali Ice and Incineroar when I brought in Ursaluna, and then I realized I couldn't punish the Cali Ice because if I go for the Headlong Rush and catch the switch, it doesn't matter if the Cali Ice is threatening the Glacial Lance that KOs the following turns. So like, yeah, I think I need to get Dialga in. That was just such a big mistake. Yeah, we have to protect. Get that Flame Orb active. Go for a Trick Room for some reason. Go for a Trick Room for some reason. Brick Break. Oh, I can't even rely on them missing Blades a bunch of times. Because Brick Break into Moonblast will probably KO. Yeah, I just need to have Dialga in. If I got Dialga in, I could have probably forced an Earth Power situation plus a Glacial Lance, and it would have been so much better. Because the extra damage that one turn would have been massive for me being able to win the game, right? Because even if it's the same position, I get more damage onto either the Cali Ice or the Incin on the switch. Like Earth Power plus Glacial was doing a decent amount of damage, maybe allowing me to get another Glacial off. That would have put the Cali Ice into Earth Power. Yeah, it was just like I chose the wrong Mon to bring in. You go for Earthquake. Like this game was very winnable. Although I think Terra Dragoning the Cali Ice was still a mistake. I probably should have just... I mean, the thing is, like, what can I do there? Like, I guess I should have thought about, like, the Illusion a bit more because it's like they also know that the fact that my Dialga is on the field, even though it's Zoroark. Because I'm thinking it's Zoroark. They're thinking it's Dialga. So I'm like... It could have been like, okay, Cali Ice switching out makes sense, and then tearing the Dialga to survive the attack and go for Trick Room, because that's probably what they expected. They were going to double up the Dialga slot, expecting the Cali Ice to switch out so I can get the Trick Room with a Terra. So they go for the double attack into the Dialga. But unfortunately, I went for the Terra with the Cali Ice because I was too focused on the Shadow Ball. So tough thing to do when using Illusion. I kind of forgot about my own Illusion there. All right, let's go over the games. In game one, World Champ difference is all I need to say, but should have switched Incin out to take a potential Meteor Beam. Since it was unlikely, they click Expanding Force in that position anyway, and Ursaluna is in a great spot if they do go for Trick Room, and I don't lose Incineroar if they do click Meteor Beam. Granted, that was the first time I used the Incineroar after a few games of testing. I never brought the Incineroar, and I didn't even notice that it was Blaze Incineroar till that battle, so you can imagine my surprise from there. In game 2, Landorus with Terra was tough, but Zoroark was able to eliminate it, although back Amoonguss and Calyx Ice Rider was not part of the plan. Thankfully, Dialga was able to survive the +2 Glacial Lance to 2-shot the Calyx in the endgame. In game 3, very rough lead, especially if they made the same play on turn 2, where I wish I just led the Dialga instead, but the Zoroark made them want to reposition the Iron Hands under the Trick Room, which allowed my Calyx Ice to set up Trick Room instead, setting up my Ursaluna to sweep the game. In game 4, didn't get to catch the Zamazenta with Burning Jealousy, but was able to do a lot of damage with it, and then the Terra Ground Dialga was able to clean up the restricteds. In game 5, Zoroark and Wellspring Ogerpon was just too much for my opponent to handle. What can I say? I was just able to get every single call right. The Ogerpon did enough damage to the Indeedee where Hyper Voice was able to KO, and then I went for the Horn Leech into the Kyogre. They lost a lot of momentum. Then I KO'd the Calyx Ice right afterward, and it was curtains for my opponent. In game 6, should have thought more about my illusion with the Dialga affected the field, but my big blunder was going into Ursaluna since I needed Dialga on the field to pressure the Calyx Ice and the Incineroar, since having Ursaluna next to Dragon Cali Ice was always a losing situation. Even if I get the Headlong Rush call right into the Incineroar, it doesn't really matter because then their Cali Ice is just able to fire off Glacial Lances. If I switch into Dialga, I just take too much damage and multiple Glacial Lances are just being fired off. It's just too much for me to handle, so should have just went Dialga instead of the Ursaluna, and ideally I should have not went for the Terra with my Cali Ice because the Cali Ice on their side was just way too threatening. Zoroark, definitely a very interesting mon with a lot of applications. Telepathy Dialga I felt like was a great partner, especially because it is a fighting week. Unfortunately, we didn't get to beat any fighting type moves, although I really should have thought more about like how Dialga, the illusion Dialga, affected like how my opponents wanted to try to deny Trick Room. So I kind of wish I played better there, but I did learn a lot, and the Zoroark was able to do quite a bit of work just damage output wise, because it was able to get a decent hit off and catch my opponents off guard because they felt like, oh, I was targeting Dialga, gave up a bit of their HP or resources in order to try to get rid of Dialga. Then they revealed the Zoroark, and then Dialga was usually able to do really well in the back. So pretty strong of what it was able to accomplish. Mission successful. If you'd like to try out the team, the rental code is on the screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. If you'd like to check out the creator and the details of the team, they'll be linked in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.